This is Justin Amazon on Wednesday, November 6th, 2019. And I've got pre-market up, which is really remarkable. There was not very much pre-market. And then right before market open, right at 8:25, the previous, look at this, 8 o'clock, 7:40, 8:05, 8:25. There's just no pre-market. It was just sitting here. And then right before the market opened, we get this move sitting really right on this uptrend channel that we just drew in from yesterday. Now, what's really interesting about this level right here is it's really, really close to yesterday's close, but it's also really right below this pivot, right below this. It's really right there. And if it breaks down from here, it's going to trap a bunch of bulls that were getting in bullish, and it just went sideways yesterday. So what does it do at open? It moves down. It opens up right on this downtrend line, which it's just remarkable to see the analysis working. Like, I don't want to say to the penny, but really, really close. Moves down, and we're now below this channel. Ever so slightly, but we're below the channel, So, okay, it's moving down a little bit more. Man, it'd be great if it retests, if it comes back up to it. What happens? Get a rally. We got into yesterday's lows. People were buying off those lows. Makes sense. People who bought down here yesterday are buying again today. They buy it back up. And what's remarkable, too, is this candle is nearly identical to this candle. It's not identical, it doesn't have the lower wick that this does, but look at the price range. Like, the open of these are really close. The open of this one is 1797.02. The open of this one is 1797.37. What was it? 1797.37. The close is a little higher on this one than today's. But anyway, we're right back into this price. Great. Short it. Literally, just go short right here. We're below this. We retested. This is the first place you could have shorted. Well, aside from at the open. And we'll look at the 3-minute, because the 3-minute gives you that opportunity. The 5-minute, okay, go bearish right here. Or, yeah, this is really a Morningstar reversal. It could go higher, but you've got a really, really low risk. Put your stop right here at 1803, 1802 something. No, probably 1803. And go short right here. Well, the next candle, I went too far. Sorry. The next candle, high wave candle. The open and the close are a penny apart. And it's a very tight range bound candle, less than $2 range. And right here, you could be going bearish with a move below. You could be bearish right now and a stop right here at 1803. And what happens next? Well, you saw it rolls over. It's great. Really great how it moves. So it just jogs around in here for a little bit. And I really just want to zoom in on what was happening here and just kind of present this. So you've got, oops, click the wrong button. Hang on. You've got, hopefully that's back. You got this triangle. And let me try and draw. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I've got the drawing tool. Let's see if this works. I'm just seeing this basically following the 21. And then I really like that you've got these bullish candles. And you could count this as really kind of the ranging candle where, we touch the top, we touch the bottom. This could be the candle that, okay, it's going to break down. So that's one way to draw this. Let's move forward a little bit further. And you got a high wave candle, hammer, slightly bullish candle here, moving up a little bit. But it's, with three bullish candles in a row, it's really not moving far. It's not like, say, these 4 candles over here where it's, okay, we're going somewhere. It's moving. It's like these are really just really range bound. That's why I like, sketching it this first way. Oh, hang on. Let me do one more candle. There we go. Okay. So what I like about this, I keep wanting to hit the wrong button. Sorry. What I like about this is you've got, really, it's not as clean as I want. Okay. The 21 is really guiding you down. That's your upper range of your triangle. And then this is one way to draw it. And now this candle is a retest of that. Or you could really draw this kind of flat, if I could draw it straight. You got a triangle this way, which means there's probably some more jogging around to do. Or, I mean, it doesn't fit as well to draw there's other ways to draw it where like that's the actual apex candle, but it's just not as clean. So anyway, it doesn't always have to be perfect. It's not, obviously, but this really gives a really nice clean setup. You got the bearish candles. Really, the bearish candles are here to here. The bullish candles keep wicking down, wicking down, wicking down. People are buying down here. The bears are trying to push down. The bulls are trying to buy back up. But all the while, we are making some lower highs. And yes, we made higher low, but not from here to here. So this is looking like it's going to break down more. What happens next? Let me click on that. Okay, what happens next? We break down. This is a gray candle. I think it has a shaved bottom. The low and the close. Yep, low and the close are the same. It takes out these lows. It's moving bearish. So if you waited till the apex and you got in below that, if you call this high wave candle the apex of the triangle, or if you were already in bearish on this candle or getting in bearish anywhere here, you had your stop up here. Okay, it's good. It's going. What happens next? Is it going to keep going? Hey, it actually keeps going. It makes a new low on the day. And then right here, we've actually taken out yesterday's low. So on the daily now, we've made lower high, lower low. We're showing we've got some bearishness in here. Great, it should keep going. But this candle looks a little bit like a hammer. It's got a little bit of an upper wick. That's fine, but it should continue lower. What happens? Inside candle, and then it breaks down some more. Still making lower low on the day from yesterday. Just continuing down. Lower low today, and this is really very similar range to the open of this triangle. I mean, it's almost moved from this price about, let's just call it, $17.99 down to $17.93. That's $6. We went, pretty much about that from the open, like $18.02 to $18.96. That's the $6 range. Okay, and we did it in 5 candles, very quickly here. 5 bearish candles. That's a good place to just, take a little bit of profit, something. What happens next is it actually bounces a little bit, pushes back down, but it has a bigger move back up. Let's see. There we go. And it's unfortunate, to show this whole candle here. I really just wanted to focus on this upper range. The upper wick comes all the way back up to 1797.59, which is inside the range of this candle. The low here was 1797.84. The high was 1797.59. So had you just left an order open, like maybe you saw this, you wanted to get in here and it skipped over you. Entirely possible. Had you left that order open, which is risky to do because it doesn't have to retest, and it probably doesn't very often retest all the way back up into the range. Well, it did here. And I'll show you in the 3-minute. It did here. So there were some great opportunities to go bearish here. This is a really large selling candle. Obviously, it's making another new low on the day. And we got down here and we just paused and then kind of recovered some. We had another high wave candle slightly below this one. And really we're just, like we've been doing, just going sideways for a while into the afternoon. So the moves happened earlier in the day. You can really see the triangle forming. This is like a retest of a triangle, a breakdown, a secondary retest, a breakdown. And then people were, bears were loading in here to continue it lower. But the move had been made, and it's a really long for a stair step. It's probably cleaner on a 15-minute to see this as a stair step. And as a continuation, it should have continued lower, but it actually had some bullishness come in. So we can look at this and see, bullish, what you could have done here. You get the squeeze that's coming in right as this is breaking out. So let's look first bullish at the 1800 calls. Really just buying right around $5. Anywhere near here, it really held the low, buying at 5, and it's counter trend because we're moving bearish today. Get out at 6, just take an R. So 5 by 4, get out at 6, you're done. That's it. Now, if we want to look at the puts, there's a few different places to get in. The one key one I was talking about is this level. So like getting in at the 950 candle after it, or getting in somehow if you had an order open over here still. So let's look at 1030, 1035, 1040, what you could have done. So let's look at the puts at 950 all the way through 1040. So I'm looking at the 1800 put also. And from 950 in here, we got into the 10 by 9 range. And so that really had the best thing going for it. So the high wave candle was at 945, right? Is that the right time? 945. The very next candle, had you had an order set up, 10 by 9 would have worked. You may have been chasing a little bit, probably not, just because it just happened. If you were getting into this candle, and it would have been chasing a little bit if you were trying to get in here or here. I mean, that's where you really want to wait. And you could have waited just till it got to the 21 at 1030 and gotten in there. And that would have been getting in at 1050, and looks like it didn't come all the way back down to 10. So that's the one tough thing with looking at how this even moved on the options, that really the 10 by 9 area was totally in play. Even if you got in here at 10 by 9 and just held it up for 2R until it got to this high, I mean, there's your 2R on the day. That's it. You missed this, which you didn't know was going to happen, and you got part of the move, which is great. It would have been phenomenal to catch all this. I didn't get it either. So, and then later into the day, it was just going sideways, just bouncing back and forth around between like 1050 and 1150s, and it was just really hard to play any of that. The real move happened earlier in the day. The other thing is, if we look a little further away, so if we look at a way to always mitigate risk with the options is going further out. So if we go to 1775, looking at yesterday, it's got a lot sparser volume here. But looking at today, I don't like how I zoomed in on that. Just looking at today, let's see. What prices do we come into? So this is really tight, really small range. It put in a really nice baseline right down here at 180. The 945 price is right here at $2. The next candle here, somebody was buying. I mean, nobody was buying right at 2 on the next candle. So really 220, 225. And then it did this S curve thing and came right back into 225, 220. Didn't come back down to 2. And you'll see that in a number of options where it's a nice round number, it doesn't actually hit it. And then that had a nice move here. I even looked at the 1770 put, and it acted very similar. And this one actually had a low here of $1.51. And so if someone had an order in it at $1.50, it looks like it may not have filled. You can do this on any of the options and just see kind of what would have worked there. And if you had an order out, great. It's just a tough one to actually catch that unless you're really saying, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to have this order sitting. I'm going to watch this. This one didn't quite come back down to $4. Came down to $4.23 was the low here. At 945, 950, you were making some candles right here around 4. So 4 by 3 could have worked here. So it's just the same thing. It just didn't hit a really round number where maybe you were having an order. So having a limit set up to get in was just tougher to do. The 1790 put, you're in the 6 by 5 range. And so this was probably another one that it could have worked. 6 by 5, if you got the order in after the 950 candle closed at 954 and 59 seconds, you didn't get filled. If you had the order open for another 45, what was that? Yeah, 45 minutes, it got filled over here, or actually got filled here in 40 minutes, or 35 minutes. So if you have an order open for that long, you got to be watching it because it can move against you. I mean, that could be a move, and then it's going to go lower the rest of the day. In this case, came back into that price. You can even see the triangle a little bit here. You can see some lower highs here, and then kind of relative lows here on the put. So it's holding the value of the put, which is just really, I think, just a good way of looking at that. It could be going lower just because it's holding the lows here as it's making lower highs here. And then I did say I was going to look at the 3-minute. And so that retest, well, hang on, just let me start with showing this. So the 3-minute was 3-minute was a high wave candle. High wave candle sitting right here on this uptrend channel, really showing you, hey, I'm retesting yesterday's close, this pivot. I'm right at this range, but it's, let's see, the low is 1,820 cents. The low here was 1,822 cents. It's like anybody who was buying here yesterday, it's like it's daring them to buy again here. And sure enough, the very next candle breaks down. Like, this is just, I wish I had traded this. Getting in right out the gate. I didn't. I did trade this when it came back into this range. Like I said, the 3-minute showed very similar retest. I was getting in bearish on this candle, knowing that I'm going to have a stop right here. And if it hits it, I'm okay with that. This is a great candle to take bearish. And it proceeded to move bearish very nicely for the next, what was this, 15 minutes. And I really wanted to see it push down lower, and it didn't. And I tightened up my stop, and I think I got trailed out for a small, very small gain here, just the way the options moved. And so what was really tough about that is I was busy the rest of the morning, but then seeing all of this and seeing this retracement, I wish I had an order out, because the options price was similar here and here to where I got in here, and that's just how out of the money options move. But had I been watching it, I probably would have missed this. Definitely would have missed this, because it did the same thing off the 21, even on a 3-minute, here and here and here and here. It just kept breaking down, But this one would have been, it's like, okay, it's getting really close to breaking down this level. You can see the triangle forming like a flat bottom triangle, a descending triangle, and then seeing this retracement. This is where I would have been looking to get in. When it did this, I probably would have set up a really aggressive entry, hopefully not getting stopped out here, but stop up here on a 3-minute and just been able to ride this down. That's what I would have been looking for. And this was a really nice move, even at a 3-minute. You can see this is all just the sideways. Like, this was the move, this candle, and it just didn't really have much continuation. So it would have really been literally getting in on this candle and getting out in the same candle or the next candle, getting out down here. It's like, this should break lower, and having a stop like this tight. You could have played this, with the stock, you could have played with the options. But really a great day. I know it didn't move very far. Like, looking at the daily here, I don't think I zoomed on the daily. Hang on. We have a second bearish candle, like I talked about, and a lot happened in terms of the open and retesting and just the levels that we had. But another bearish candle. I would love to see a bullish gap up tomorrow or Friday and just see this thing run, because this is really a great rest. And we've done some rests like this before, and then we've had some really nice continuations. We had some like this, where we had two candles kind of pulling back. This was making higher. This made a higher high, where in this case, yesterday we didn't. But I think if we get some sort of gap like this, I mean, it could really run, or it could just get us up into a higher level to pause. But it just shows that there's some selling coming in. And so if you're going to trap that selling, it's got to get up above here, or at least get above either of these candles and just continue moving. Alternatively, it could be making a little bit more of a flag here, and it's going to turn into a little bit more of a stair step instead. Can totally do that too. We've done something like that where we kind of did a stair step here, and then we went down and back up, and we just didn't continue as strongly. So this candle is also just a really nice retest of these opens these bearish opens, the highs in here, that's really the price we came into. And I don't have a line there, but that's just the range. That's this level right here. You can see it with the cursor. I don't have a line, but that's the level we came back into. And we'll just see, if we do have some nice continuation here. So I don't know how it's going to open tomorrow. I don't know which way it'll be opening. But if you see candles like this, just set it up and trade it. And if you lose, try to lose less than an arm. But this is a great open. Just on the 3 minute. I was watching it on the 3 minute, on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute, because seeing a candle like this form and then breaking down, it's like, okay, it's going to give us some more opportunities to go bearish. And the edge was bearish today. As much as I wanted it to go bullish, it just didn't get back above this, which is great because you wouldn't have been wicked into a trade going bullish. It just gave you some really nice entries going bearish if you were patient enough for it. And so getting in on this retest, seeing these wicks, that getting taken out, this was an opportunity that some bulls were getting trapped here. Getting in on this candle or not waiting for it to close, and people looking at this as maybe some sort of double bottom forming and continuing higher. Well, it didn't happen. Came down lower again, started taking out the low here, and then took out the low of the day, and then took out the low of yesterday. It just showed as it went, there was some more bearishness to it. Overall today, really small candle, shows a lot of selling. Like, just kind of zoom your eyes out a little bit. You can see a lot of selling in the first couple hours, and then you have a lot more buying. A lot more green candles over here, or at least a mix. A lot more bearish candles to open, a lot more mix, or a little more bullish candles for the rest of the day. And I don't know if that's going to translate to some more buyers coming in. But usually when you have these larger moves, it's hard to see it zoomed out like this, but you just don't have as much of the bearishness on a day like this. You don't have the rest as much. It just goes. And then paused here. So right now we find ourselves, this is the channel. We just drew this yesterday, and it helped set this trade up today. We'll see if we can do something to get back up to that. This is a really great flag here. And let's see on the hourly, what's going on here. It's just a really small rest. Really nice flag, pull back. Yeah. I'm game for either direction. If it pulls back some more, zigzags some more down, or wants to go and gap up and run, it can go either direction from here. And so, just be ready to trade it. Be careful of your bias. And, still, I wanted to go bullish, but you got to wait for the candles to show up to give us those opportunities. So, some good opportunities today. Hope this helps, and hope you're able to make something, or at least get a trade that made good sense to do it today. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.